Una iye iye, una iye, una iye iye, una iye iye, una iye, una iye iye, una.
Hello, hello, hello! Good morning, my beautiful and handsome tourists! I am Arnold Junito, one of the tour guides that will accompany you for today's adventure. And this is Mr. Jan, our coach captain. He's a professional driver for years. He will make sure that we will have a safe and happy trip. In behalf of Happy Tours, I would like to welcome you all to the Philippines. And today, we're going to the 10 historical places and tourist spots in the Philippines. But before anything else, let me do a head count. 1, 2, 3, 20, perfect! But before we will proceed with our tour for today, I would like to remind you all of our rules and regulations to ensure your safety and duration for our trip. Sightseeing is fun, but safety and health is our dear tourists is our topmost priority. First, please keep your seatbelts fastened at all times. Please remain seated until we come into a full stop. As a safety precautions, we would like to remind you, our tourists, to please keep better distance with a practical social distancing. Wear your face mask and face shield at all times. If you're not feeling well, I have here a first aid kit. Tourists, please be attentive. If you hear me whistle once and raise this blue flag, it means you only have 20 minutes to take pictures and roaming around the place. And when you hear me whistling twice and raise these red flags, it means you should gather, form a line, and get into the bus so that we can proceed to our next destinations. Time check. It's already 7:30 in the morning. Please anchor your time with mine so that no one would be left behind. Are you excited, tourists? Excellent! We are 5 minutes away from our first destination. So tourists, sit back, relax, and enjoy the views inside the bus as we are waiting for our first destination. Tourists, we are now in the first destination, in the Sandugo Shrine in Bohol. In 1565, a Spanish explorer, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, and Bohol chieftain Dato Sikatuna performed a blood compact, a tribal tradition that seals friendships. The historic moment marked the first treaty of friendship between Spaniards and Filipinos. A bronze sculpture by national artist Napoleon Abueva marks Sandugo Shrine, frequented by many tourists who came to Bohol, an island full of natural wonders such as Chocolate Hills, Banglao Beach, and the world's coolest primate, the Tarsier. Alright tourists, we are now here in our next destination, the Rizal Shrine here in Dapitan. Down south of the Philippines is where you will find the Rizal Shrine, our memorial protected landscape located in Dapitan in Zamboanga del Norte, more commonly known as Rizal Shrine. This area is where national hero Jose P. Rizal spent 4 years of exile when he was accused of planning the revolution against the Spanish rule. One of its most significant landmarks is the Meritero Rock, where Rizal spent time watching sunsets and where he penned one of his most beautiful poems, Meritero. Nearby the shrine is Dada Park and Beach Resort. Alright tourists, we are heading now for our third destination, the Baler Church. Frequented by many locals and tourists for its perfect waves, Baler is also a town packed with a lot of history. The San Luis Obispo de Tolosa Parish, or more commonly known as the Baler Church, was built in 1611 and is the site of the Siege of Baler, a battle during the Philippines Revolution. Even after the declaration of Philippine independence, the Spanish fortified the church as a military post until they finally surrendered in 1899. It is said that the church structure was made from stones plastered by lime and honey. now in the fourth destination, the Emilio Aguinaldo Shrine here in Kawit, Cavite. Originally, the house where the first and the youngest president of the Philippines lived. This mansion in Kawit, Cavite also became the site where the Philippine independence from Spanish rule was declared in 1898. President Emilio Aguinaldo's home is now the National Shrine that also houses a museum filled with significant artifacts of the historic event. Although the first Philippine flag was waved from one of its windows, a balcony was added in 1919. A house that features secret passageways and compartments where important documents and weapons were once hidden. It's a popular historic attraction, included a heritage tour in Cavite. Alright tourists, we are now in the fifth destination, the Basilica del Santo Niño here in Cebu. You cannot be in Cebu and not pay a visit to the country's oldest Roman Catholic church, the Basilica del Santo Niño. Thousands of devotees and tourists alike flock to the church every third Sunday of January, when the town celebrates the Sinulog Festival in honor of the child Jesus. It houses a statue of the child Jesus, the same as one of the Ferdinand Magellan gifted to the Queen Juana of Cebu. A visit to this magnificent historical and religious structure, surviving fires and a recent earthquake, is definitely one of the tough things to do in the Philippines. Alright tourists, we are now in our sixth destination, the Mactan Shrine here in Cebu. The Mactan Shrine, built in honor of Cebu's island first hero, Dato Lapu-Lapu. The Mactan Shrine history is one of the most significant moments in the Philippines' past. It was erected in what is known to be the site of the Battle of Mactan, where the native leader defeated explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. While it mainly features a 20 meters bronze statue of Lapu-Lapu, a shrine of Magellan was also built honoring him for bringing Christianity to the Philippines. Alright tourists, we are now in our seventh destination, the Fort San Pedro in Cebu. Fort San Pedro, built by the Spaniards under the command of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in 1565. Fort San Pedro in Cebu City is one of the oldest forts in the Philippines. It is located near to the port area of Cebu in an area now called as Plaza Independencia. The fort houses a museum where you can find significant memorabilia, documents, paintings that highlighting the beginnings of Spanish rule in the Philippines. As Cebu is becoming a highly urbanized metropolis, a trip to San Pedro will make you realize that it is a peaceful oasis in the city. Tourists, we are now in our eighth destination, the Binondo, Manila. It's your way to history as you visit what is renowned to be as the oldest Chinatown in the world, the Binondo. Even before it was established in 1954 as the Spanish settlement, Binondo was already the heart of Chinese commerce and trade in the country. Today, it is the best enjoyed as a food tour destination in Manila, where you can simple signature fried chicken, fried siupaw, noodle soup, and the most authentic dish song you can ever find in the entire Metro Manila. Tourists, are you still alive? Alright, because we are now heading to our ninth destination, the Calle Crisologo in Vigan. It is awarded as the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The streets of the Calle Crucelugo and Vigan is regarded to be the one of the perfect examples of surviving Spanish colonial town in Asia. Travel back in time as you stroll through old world charm, get mesmerized with Spanish colonial architecture, and enjoy delectable food such as famous Ilocos empanada. While at it, buy a handicraft made of signature Abel Iloco wave in one of its many souvenir shops. So head up north, visit Vigan, and find some Calle Crucelugo churros to try, as it's one of the most beautiful attractions in the Philippines. Alright tourists, I know you are still alive. We are now heading to our last but not the least, the Rizal Park in Manila. Manila may greet you with skyscrapers, giant malls, and horrendous traffic, but set aside time to visit Rizal Park. This vast 60 hectares urban park with manicured gardens and dancing fountains is truly one of the most historical places in Manila. More commonly known as Luneta Park, this is where you will find the Rizal Monument, the actual site marking the execution of Philippine national hero Dr. Josepe Rizal. Some meters away from the monument takes you to the network of Grand Museum in the National Museum of the Philippines that must not be skipped. We are done for our tour for today. Thank you for being with me and see you next time. Bye bye!